This time on PedalBox, I'm here at Kitfest, looking at what we probably should have built the first time when we got the chassis, instead of what we turned it into. So today I'm at Santa Pod, as I said, at Kitfest, and this is Trevor, one of the organisers from the Northwest Kit Car
Owners Group.
Owners Group, right. I was trying to work out what OG was, and I keep saying every time I'm going to remember, and I haven't. So yes, this is the Northwest Kit Car Owners Group, but isn't just the Northwest, it's anybody.
It is, yeah. We're all over the UK now. The concept started in the Northwest.
Yeah.
But then it sort of like grew exponentially. Now we've got members in Cornwall, South Coast, Scotland, you know. Ironically, we've got no one in the Northeast.
Really?
Yeah,
no
yeah. We need some people in the Northeast. So
this is basically a festival of all things kit car. So if it's past an IVA, you're welcome to join into the club. But
yeah,
essentially, the plan is to have IVA'd cars, something you built yourself.
Yep, or indeed a chassis.
All bought, yes.
Engine.
Yeah.
And you're in the middle of building it.
Yes, something to that effect. We were hoping to bring our car down here, but then we went through all of the bodywork and started tearing bits off, and it was in no condition to get on a trailer and get over here at all. There's lots and lots of things here. You've got your Tiger, it's a Tiger 400R. So what engine is in that?
This has got a 2.1 Z-Tech.
Okay.
Which is fully forged with a stage 5 head. And it's also got GXSR 1000 ITBs, dual injection.
Yeah. So is that 400 brake per ton?
It is, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's 249 brake horsepower.
Yeah.
And it weighs 610 kilos without me in it.
Yeah,
1,000 kilos.
It weighs virtually nothing. Next to me is a mid-tech, which is a Pinto engine, but this is a mid-engine like we built, but very different from anything we built.
Yep.
Further down, there's some bike engine ones. There's a V8 low cost down there as well, and basically the list just goes on and on and on. So I'm going to go up to the top end and have a look all the way down and talk to a few more people there. As much as this is Kitfest, it's not just what you'd call traditional kits here, like this mid-engine scratch build with the engine from a Vauxhall Vectra, in amongst all of the others. So right at the top end of Kitfest, I'm here with Dan from DJC Sports Cars, who has built a 3-seater kit car. Well, I guess, can you buy it as a kit car, or does it come all as?
Yes, at the moment you still can. We are sort of probably trying to go away from that and only factory-built cars.
Okay.
But at the moment, they are still available in kit form.
Nice.
Yes.
So it's obviously a very much an exoskeleton kind of chassis, but it is rear engine, much like ours is, but with a very, very different power plant. It has
a Subaru Flat 4 in it. We like to go different.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Big fan of that.
Yeah.
But it's still turbocharged.
Still turbocharged.
And it's how much power?
This car's our entry level car at 300 horsepower.
300 horsepower is entry level, and you said it was what, 750 kilos, give or take? So
this car's around the 750. Yeah. So this one is 400.
400 per ton.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
So yeah, V-Storm WR3 400. Yeah. I could have read that, and I didn't. It's all push rod suspension, so it's all inboard, and I think the best bit about it, 3 seats. It's a centre cockpit, 2 behind. Yeah. It's very snug centre 2 behind. I think my right leg or left leg, depending on which side, would be a bit tight.
It's not as bad as you think.
Really?
Yeah, it's not as bad as you think. I mean, the person who owns this car is 6'2". When I took him out for a drive in my old demo, I had him in it. I was driving him and his friend in the back. Okay. So, you know, and he went in absolutely fine. So
deceptively spacious then.
Yeah, it is.
Well, as you say, this is the entry level one. Yeah. There is a couple of steps further up.
Yeah, our new demo car, which is probably the most extreme version we've built to date. This is the newest edition. Yeah, this is the most extreme version we built up to date. Yeah,
this one doesn't say the power to weight on the front.
Not yet.
How much power is it, and what is it? Is it obviously Boxer again?
So this is a Strokes 2.1, still a Boxster, turbocharged, fully forged race engine in this one.
Fully forged, stroked out. Bigger turbo or smaller?
Oh, bigger
and
turbo.
A bigger turbo. Yeah. So it's how much power?
It's going to be around the 600 mark, this one.
That's brilliant.
It's going to be a little bit heavier. So
I was going to say, probably a little bit
more. We're a little bit heavier, about 800 kilos, so we'll probably be around the 750 per tonne mark.
Ooh. I mean, that's still plenty.
Yeah, it's monstrous.
And it's still 3-seater.
It's still, everything else is the same. You know, this one's 4 years.
It's got operated shocks. This one's got O-lins
Yeah, this has got O-lins on it. This has got a little bit more billet aluminium in the back and everything else. Nice. It's 4 years younger than that, so we've got quite a lot of electronic upgrades in this.
Flappy paddles?
This is
automatic?
Yes.
Or sequential?
Yeah. So this car's got a 6-speed.
This one, I assume. Yeah, that's the shifter up front.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So this has got a 6-speed sequential gearbox.
Nice.
That was shipped out to Lithuania, who built it for me. So this has got flat foot shifting, launch control, anti-lag, all the toys and.
Yeah. Basically, this is the full options list.
Yeah. This has got at the moment.
Yes.
This has got everything that I offer. Yeah. This car.
Yeah. More things. TBC.
Definitely. Unfortunately, I'm a precision engineer by trade, so nothing's good enough. Everything's getting evolved
has to be
all the time. Yeah.
Pinpoint correct. Yeah. I bet that is a hoot.
It's good fun.
Nice.
Good
well,
fun.
thanks very much for bringing them down.
No problem.
Cheers.
Thank you.
We'll see you again sometime.
Thank you.
This coupe went through the IVA, so it qualifies for the club and has the new 5-litre Coyote V8 from the Mustang under the hood. And if I remember correctly, an ample 400 brake horsepower, given the whole thing weighs just under a ton. And it looks great in this orange and cream two-tone paintwork. Just a few cars down from the coupe is this Exocet, the MX-5 based kit car. I would have thought there would have been a few more of these, but just next to it was an actual one-of-a-kind, a 434 cubic inch V8 Dutton, which pops wheelies off the line and was running an 8.6 second quarter mile just the day before. In addition to DJC, there were some other manufacturers. English Racing Automobiles, formerly Tiger, were in attendance with cars on show for those folk who don't have the space to build something or indeed the time to dedicate to the task of assembling a car. Of course, you can still buy a full kit or a rolling chassis as well as the factory-built versions, which have a 2-litre DuraPower 4-pot and a 5-speed gearbox. You can also option an MSA race cage, suspension options and more. Just beside them were AK Sports Cars, who had a couple of their 427s in attendance, and just like the ERAs, they're available as a kit or a full factory-built finished model. They also make some other models, including the AK-SS, the AKD, and the AK-40, which looks fantastic, although I would probably go for a slightly more traditional colour. All of the cars in Kitfest are invited to take part in the parade down both lanes of the track, 4 abreast, and cruise past the spectators.
Great part of the show. There's certainly some unique ones. DJC kit cars just making his way around to the turn. That's a beautiful one.
So one of the many people who are here at Kitfest is Jason, and whilst you might not recognise him, you will have seen the comments that he's made on the videos helping us avoid problems, most recently with our crash bar. But this is his project, and he has also gone down the same route as us in picking a non-typical engine. So what is this currently powered by?
It's got the engine and running gear out of a Mercedes CLK 230. So 2.3 litre supercharged.
And it's, I was going to say, it's the supercharged one, which is just nestled down here.
Yeah.
So this is going to have the best noise when it's going.
It will do now. I've ported out all the supercharger.
Yes.
And I've got about that much exhaust.
It'll sound great.
Yeah.
But you stuck with pretty much a traditional kind of low-cost style. like a regular kind of kit car build.
Well,
and this has been going for how long?
8 years.
8 years, so about the same amount of time as us. So it's making us look completely nominal at this point. You tried to do the same rush that we did for Kitfest.
Yeah, I finished
in
5
getting
o'clock
things
last
ready.
night. Yeah.
And you finished at 5 last night and came down.
Then I went to work, then I come straight here from work.
Oh, so you had work between oh.
Yep, and then I got work in tonight.
Oh, that's savage.
Yeah.
But so what did you add most recently to? Was that the cage?
The cage and the active aero. Well, the start of the active aero.
Yeah, the proof of concept really,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's it.
Because this is one thing that we've kind of looked at and considered as an idea, but this is the first implementation I've ever seen. This car has active aero on the back with some actuators, so we'll take a look at that right now. So this is easily the coolest thing about this car. It has active aero, so there are 2 actuators mounted onto the roll cage here, which go onto this spoiler on the back. And is that carbon spoiler, or is it all aluminium?
Aluminium frame with foam around it, but I'm going to skin it in carbon as soon as we get some decent weather.
Yeah, you're just waiting on it not being quite so humid, I guess.
Yeah, it's too much money to waste on carbon fabric.
Yeah, you're going to do the whole body in carbon eventually as well. Take all of these ones off and just use it as a mould.
This whole body is a big sheet of stainless steel and 3 or 4 buckets of plaster.
Right.
I'm literally going to make fiberglass moulds off of this, peel them off, and then make male carbon fibre ones out of it.
That'll be really cool. And there's also flaps in the rear arches at the moment as well, and then the front as well going to have it on.
Yep.
That'll be really cool.
We're wiring it into a tilt sensor and steering angle sensors, so that when we're tipping around the corner, it's going to kick up the opposite sides and level the car out.
That'll be really cool. It's definitely, I mean, I'm aware of one other active aero on a kind of Kit-esque car in Australia, and they use the MX-5 headlight systems, but it's way bulkier, so you just wouldn't get it up here. But it is really, really cool, and I'm really looking forward to hearing it with the supercharger going. It's going to be amazing.
It should be fun. It's going to be around 300 horsepower and just over 500 kilos.
600 brake per tonne.
Yeah.
That's a good number to have.
The way I see it is top of the tree Caterham, 620R, 2.3 supercharged.
Pretty much.
2.3 supercharged. Granted, I haven't got as much technology built into the chassis, but on paper at least, it's on par.
It'll still be a hoot.
Oh yeah.
So well, thanks very much for bringing it down.
Very welcome.
Thanks for all of your help.
It's only help because I've learned the hard way myself.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's how we all learn, but at some point we'll definitely have this back on the channel when it's all up and running and done. And
when I've got it running, I'll bring it up to see you.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be amazing. So
I'm only waiting on the ECU and the prop shaft.
Yeah.
So once it's up and running, I'll take a road trip up and come see you.
Bluetooth prop shafts.
Yeah, exactly.
Kitfest shares the day with the Fast Show, and there's loads of cars going up the strip, including some of the ones showing at Kitfest.
Unless you've walked over to the Kitfest arena, you've probably not seen a load of cars. The good thing is, they're going to parade in front of you and you can sit on the bank or sit.
As you might imagine, there are a lot of kit cars at Kitfest. It's kind of in the name, and there is a huge selection of engines here, and one of them is one that we considered to put in our car way back at the beginning, before we even thought about putting the TT transaxle in, or the A3 transaxle as it was at the beginning. This is a Rover V8. This is a JE Developments one, and it's the 4 litre, and apparently makes about 190 brake, but It's torquey for days. So this is an absolute hoot. I've heard it trundling around when it was running earlier and it just sounded delightful. Still slightly regretting not putting a V8 in our kit car now, having heard and seen this, but maybe in the future sometime?
Further down the line from the V8, as we pass by an MNR, a 7 and a couple of MK sports car builds, and reach 2 mid-engine tube chassis. The first one has gone through its IVA some years prior, powered with a 4-cylinder bike engine whose name unfortunately escapes me right now, mounted transverse with a chain drive to the rear wheels, and more recently had a turbo and intercooler fitted. The one next to it is also powered with a bike engine, this time mounted longitudinally into what I think is an MX-5 rear axle. This one is due to go through the IVA a short time after the show, so hopefully no major problems were found and it had a successful test.
So yet another kit car, a much more traditional version of one here. I'm here with Wayne, or Bizzle, from teanbizz-kits, and this is his very traditional looking kit car. Unfortunately, I've not had a chance to read the bit at the front, so I'm going to rely on Wayne to actually tell me what it is.
Super. So this is a 2009 Raw Striker. It's the aero version, so it's slightly different here. It's running a Toyota 1.6 20 valve engine. It also has a Roadtrek supercharger. Other than that, heavy duty gearbox, 4-paddle clutch, lightweight flywheel, high ratio open diff, it's non-LSD.
Nice.
And then other than that, pretty much everything else, as you say, is kind of traditional with your brake suspension and other bits and bobs.
Cool. So obviously the Roadtrex is buried right down under here.
It is, and I've noticed the air filter's fallen off.
Yes,
as well,
I was going to say the air filter is currently.
I'll have to stick that on. That might have
ankle.
happened while we were up the straight, and I was enjoying myself at the end.
But yeah, it's really nice, and as you say, it's a much more traditional kind of setup. We looked at a lot of different things for our car, and the Toyotas were one of them. So is this out of the MR2?
So the 4Age was in Corollas, MR2s, and then they're in Toyota Coronas.
Yeah, so it's the same one,
really,
basically.
But
yeah.
it's got the 20 valve head, which apparently was developed by Yamaha, and it's kind of like a last ditch kind of 4Age before they went to the 3S GE and the more later Mark II MR2s. They did do 2 versions of this, both of them natural aspirated, but they had quad throttle bodies with direct fuel injection, variable valve timing, and lightweight bits inside as well, so they just revved a little bit harder and nicer, which is why they work really well for kit cars.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is obviously going to be light like all of the rest of them. Do you know exactly what it weighs?
Yeah, so I've had this corner weighted. It's 600 kilos.
That's not bad.
601.
How much power did you say?
300.
So 300. So quick. That's about 400 per ton?
500.
500 per ton, yes. Okay.
Pretty much on the money. I'm rounding figures here and there.
Yes.
It's like 303 brake and 600 something, but yes.
You're in the ballpark of 500 brake per ton, which is great fun. That is a good level to be.
Yes. Yeah.
We're going to have to go some to get up to there. With this being the aero one, is that this aero panel here without a windscreen, basically?
Yeah, so the previous one had a slightly different chassis design, and it had a more triangular kind of half screen quite often.
Right.
So they kind of updated this, so both the bonnet and the aero screen kind of flow a bit nicer.
Gotcha.
So although it's a kind of classic kit car, if you like, it is actually the more modern version.
It's a bit of a modernised version
which
of
you see on like the MKs or the MKs that have a slight aero screen.
Yeah.
It kind of just gives it generally a more sleek and more modern, nicer look.
Rather than having a little glass flat panel one that sticks up.
Yeah, or a big old window screen with wipers.
Well, this was being so tall; those don't work for me. I just eat bugs.
Yeah.
I am well outside the aero line on those.
I'm sure there's been a lot of thought going into how do you get in your car anyway. Actually.
Yes, just a little bit. It's becoming more and more of an art form the older I get.
These are small chassis as well. One of the things I liked about them when I first saw them, when they were racing 10 years ago or so, is that they are particularly small. So in comparison to your MKs and your Caterhams and things, it is narrower, it is shorter.
Yeah.
And I quite liked that. It gave it more of a unique look.
Yeah, I bet I would definitely have knees around my knuckles on the steering wheel in this.
Yeah, it's tight for me at 5'9" and 85 kilos. So
I'm a sixth of this and change, which I'm probably closer on to a fifth at this point.
That will require a certain amount of dialing in, shall we say, with the suspension to get your 50-50 balance.
Ruin the corner weighting just by getting in. Yeah, it's great. And as I say, I've not seen the supercharged Toyota engine in one of these days. It's the only one that I've seen. So
some people turbo them. Obviously, a lot of them are naturally aspirated. This come with the supercharger, but it was a smaller version.
Right.
So I got it upgraded, and a particular UK company does an upgraded impeller.
Okay.
So that gets another 4 to 5 psi from it.
Nice.
So it's running. I think it's about 21, 22 psi. So it's pretty good.
It's quite a bit. Yeah.
It's a lot for a supercharger.
Yeah.
And it's really pushing the engine to the limits. People know these engines are going, you've got 300 horsepower from it. But in New Zealand, they run 400-500 horsepower from these. But not the 20 valve version. They have to be really selective from the Toyota box of bits.
Yes, it's a proper parts bin engine at that point.
Yeah,
and this and this and this and this and this.
It is. But the people who made the fuel rail and they gave me a lot of advice, and the injectors and things. MRP in New Zealand, they are the gurus for these engines, and they actually have 600, 700, 800 horsepower versions of these. But then you're swapping, newer engine, newer blocks, and so it gets a bit more serious.
Awesome.
But yeah, amazing power you can get. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for bringing it down.
Pleasure. Really nice to meet you.
We'll put a link to the channel in the description and in a card at the top, assuming I remember to put the card in, but I will do my best. So yeah, definitely make sure to subscribe to them to see more on this. And you've got, other projects as well? Or is this your main focus to make sure that this is right?
This is my only project at the moment, but it's been a bit of graft. So if you do subscribe, you'll see kind of the engine getting out. I've changed the clutch, I do technical chats, lots of bits on this car, but like you guys, going out and seeing shows, going to see other people's builds. I go and visit other people in their garages. So it's all good, glossy, great content.
Nice. Thanks once again.
Yeah, pleasure meeting you.
Thanks for bringing it down. Thanks for sharing your knowledge about this, and we'll see you again.
Cool. Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Kitfest was a great event and a wide variety of vehicles in attendance, not just the traditional 7 styles, but the scratch builds and the factory cars as well. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully next year we can get ours done and get it down, and maybe it'll be able to drive itself here if we're lucky. You can help with the build by supporting us through shop.pedalbox.show for all kinds of merch, or by joining us on Patreon. Patrons also get a discount at the shop, early access to the videos, and of course our eternal gratitude for the support and patience with the build so far. Thanks very much for joining us on another PedalBox road trip.